Hey everybody, Mac Demazage here, back with Diablo 3. I got the Demon Hunter on the board again, and this time I'm doing a low Torment build Strafe. Um, Basically more of a faster farming type build, the speed through things. Um, I like it because it's just easier, less complicated, you don't have to target so much. Hold a button down and it basically kills stuff, do a couple other things. Early on, it was definitely possible, even on Torment 1, to get killed by certain packs. You know, I basically call them stun-like packs, where they freeze you and jail you, or jail you and then wall you and trap you so you just can't do anything. You know, so it's possible. Right now, it's pretty rare because I've gotten some decent gear. I wasn't getting really good drops for a little while, so I tried resetting my quests and just doing the whole playthrough again. And after resetting the quests, my drop rate definitely went up, so I got a lot more drops just by resetting the quests. So if you're not seeing a lot of drops and you're getting like a drop like every hour to hour and a half, try resetting your quests. You might see more drops that way. I did. So what we're doing for the build is I got Strafe Rocket Storm. I like that a lot. There's a couple other ones. Demolition used to work really well. It's nice, big AoE. It still works pretty good. Um, it can have a tendency to proc our Night Stalker off a little more. However, you have to aim and be on top of the aiming, so it's a little bit more interactive. Where Rocket Storm doesn't require as much aiming and will almost heat seek. I aim it a little bit, and I'll show how that works when we're done with the build. I got Bolas up with Acid Storm. That's just in case I run out of Hatred. Because I'm using not too friendly crossbow for it. I'll get that into a second once I go into gear. I do have a Hatred generator. I could go with Bitter Pill just to have a chance to go and get some discipline on there. I could switch it over to Justice's Serve, which I'll switch it over to now. You can go with whatever hatred builder you want. More hatred, the better. Usually the case. Hatred faster, because really, Strafe and Rocket Storm is a lot of damage. It attacks super fast, and with dealing with packs with certain things that we're going to do through gearing, it's a lot of damage. So with the companion, we're going back to the bat companion. It's giving us 1 hatred a second. We're going to try to maximize hatred and discipline generation as best we can. Even though it's been nerfed pretty decently in 2.0, we can still make it work to a pretty good advantage. Chakram, Shuriken, Cloud, this has actually been buffed. It was pretty good before 2.0, and now it's really good in 2.0 and higher. Lots of damage, lots of procs from it. Lasts a good amount of time and does a really good amount of damage. Definitely worth having. Preparation Punishment, instead of restoring all our hatred, it only does 75 hatred for 25 discipline. So, you know, that's a little bit stinky that it doesn't do all our hatred, but we still will use that. And then Marked for Death, Mortal Enemy. Anything with a lot of hit points, if it's going to be a longer fight, we're going to put this up. And this is every time we hit it, we'll get 4 hatred. This will help maintain hatred on long duration fights with bosses and packs and stuff. It works really well for those situations. And then I'm running Perfectionist, Night Stalker, so our critical hits have a chance to give us discipline. We absolutely have to have this. And Blood Vengeance. This gives us extra 25 hatred, in addition 30 hatred and 3 discipline every time we get a health globe. So Perfectionist and Blood Vengeance are definitely open for interpretation on this. Ballistics can be incorporated in there because we do have rockets going off, and that extra rocket with every other 5 attacks actually does help with generating some extra discipline, because it's an extra attack that could crit, that could give us some discipline. Archery could be worked in. depending on what you have for your weapon. I have a hand crossbow, so that would be 5% crit. Sharpshooter could be worked in, but you have to work that to your advantage. A lot of people like it because it's 4% crit every second, and the bonus lasts 1 second once you critically hit. So if you've already dumped all your discipline and you have a good chunk of hatred going into a fight and low discipline, you could have a really bursty period to get your discipline back up on a high crit chance. That's basically the theory and the attempt of what to do. And those are basically the passives you can work in. So that's the build. Gearing wise, what I'm doing, I got no lifesteal on this. So let's see, there's my lifesteal 0. Life per kill, I got a good chunk. Life per hit, I got 1500. Life per second, I got a good chunk. Life per hit and life per second, probably pretty important there. I got a high chunk of life because the new gear definitely caters towards doing that. With Perfectionist, it gives us a nice extra chunk of life, armor, and resistances, and reduces our discipline cost. So that's also lowering how much we're spending for really preparation, punishment. That's what we're worried about. So I got a new Calamity, and the new Calamity works. Every enemy I hit gets marked for death. Mark for death makes enemies take 20% extra damage. I can put my own mark for death on and Calamity's mark for death on, so that's basically 40% extra damage. So the new Calamity is kind of awesome this way. Always hit. All you have to do is hit them. You can hit them with a Shuriken Cloud, just running through them. All those enemies will get a mark for death on them. So that's pretty nice, and now it has a chance to immobilize, very low. But it does deal area damage too, so that's going to help us out. I'm going to go through that once I go into passives. We need that area damage. If you don't have any kind of area damage at all on your passive tree, at least put 1 point into it, just because what happens with area damage is all your attacks have a 20% chance to also deal area damage to enemies within 10 yards. That's going to give you an extra chance to proc crit. I don't think... Well, it will at least proc lifesteal. Some people say this will not proc crits. So much is going on, it's really hard to see if it does or not. Let's assume it doesn't. It will give you life per hit chances and some extra damage. So at least having 1 point in there for the off chance that it does crit, and the off, it definitely should provide some life per hit to you. I have a chance to, if it has a coefficient. Definitely worth having 1 point on your passive to make sure that you have that going on, especially with this because Strafe fires so fast, especially with a high attack speed. It's firing even faster. It goes nuts, and it'd be crazy not to have that extra little bit of damage going on, especially for chances to do procs. I also got the Holy Point shot. I kept it because it's a lot of life per second, life per hit. And then, you know, extra discipline is very, very nice. I got a Nago Ring, extra magic find, life per hit, dex, vitality, very nice. I got a Mantled Heal. This gives me life, regeneration, extra discipline again. What I really like are these Nemesis braces. Not too high in the DPS and not too high in the toughness. But every time I open a shrine, champion pack spawns. So these are pretty awesome. You know, I'll be swapping these back and forth between my monk and my demon hunter for sure, so I can get those extra spawns. I'm using a new Blackthorns. Pretty nice stats, very survivable. And then I got the Blind Faith here, which gives me some crit. And then has a 30% chance to blind on hit. That's very awesome. Means I take less damage throughout the fight. And then I do have a new yellow that dropped that reduces all resource cost by 6%. And that's really it for all the new gear. This is kind of new too. This gives me some area damage, some crit, and life per hit again. And that's what's getting my high stats. And so I got 150 hatred with 6 hatred per second. 11% hatred cost reduction, 20% discipline cost reduction. That's even better because that's making that preparation punishment cost less. And then what I'm doing for my Paragon points is I put them in Dex. Because I got 112,000 life, I don't feel the need for Vitality. I could put them in Vitality though, definitely, but I went for DPS. I want a crit, so I went with crit on the offense. That gives me more discipline. And then on this, I went with the Resist All. It pays out better than armor. And I need some defense. I have a lot of life already, so I didn't feel a need for life. And utility, I went with resource cost reduction, so I can get more discipline and hatred going on and keep my strafe going. I already have area damage, but if I didn't, I'd put 1 point in there just so I have that proc going off, just in case some people are wrong. They could be right, I don't know, but might as well have 1 point in there for the shot of it to happen. And so that's gear, that's Paragon, that's the skills, and I'll just basically show how it works. This is Torment 1, so it will be very nice and easy. This really shreds down almost anything. As long as nothing dangerous is around, I can easily take down Treasure Goblins on Torment 1, because I can take those down pretty much. And all I'm doing is, if it's got a lot of hit points, I mark for death it myself, and then Calamity marks for death it, and then I'm doing 40% extra damage, so I'm doing a lot more damage than what it says. So there's a mark for death in the tree. Then is kill a tree. Oh, I already found a pack, so I'll mark for death the pack. Now what I'm doing is I'm trying to stay in the middle of the pack. I'm just checking to see if the pack is really dangerous to my health. If it's not, I'm going to stay in the middle of the pack and get the extra damage from the Shuriken Cloud. If the pack was dangerous to my health, I would move away and just burn it from a distance. So as you can see, it's not too troublesome. So I just stay in it and get the extra damage. But if it was hurting me, I could stay away from this. As you can see, it auto-fires. I'm pointing over here. It's finding its own targets. Very simplistic build. Not too hard. I went ahead and did the entire act, including all act bosses, on Torment 1. That's where I got all the gear, including Diablo, and it was fairly easy. In fact, none of the act bosses actually killed me. I died twice throughout the entire run, and it was to hitting multiple packs. One time I hit 3 packs in one area, and 2 wallers, so I was getting walled all over the place with jailed. I just couldn't do anything. So, if you can't do anything, you're probably going to die. Looks like I'm at the top. I'm trying to find just the seeing how I killed a pack already. I'm just trying to find the key warden. As you can see, everything is getting marked for death, so Calamity's pretty awesome. The hatred burns down in a heartbeat because the Calamity attacks so fast. The slower the attack speed, the better off you are with Strafe. Because the attack speed does affect how the hatred gets burnt. The faster you attack, the faster the hatred gets burned down. But with all the extra damage, I just can't not have it. There's the other pack. There's usually 2 to 3 packs in the zone, so. Then the one that I marked for death, I'm trying to stay on top of that one. So at least the Shuriken Cloud will always do damage to it. And when it dies, I mark for death another one. And then if I lose it in the shuffle, it should be the one that's glowing a little bit brighter than the other ones. So it glows just a little bit more yellow. It might be hard to see. A little bit of server lag. Server lag's been prevalent. That'll cause a death or two. Although it's gotten better. If you're running around and all of a sudden you stop moving, you probably ran out of hatred. You're paying a little more attention to everything else. That'll happen. And I only got 30% crit, but as you can see, it's almost good enough even at this phenomenal attack speed of almost 2.0. I mean, it's really not phenomenal, but it's phenomenal for a Strafe build to keep it going. It just won't go non-stop. Well, I'll kill off all the extra stuff and show off the bracers in action. Yep, free rare pack, I love it. See how they're kind of hurting me? I'm moving away from them now. Look at the goblin. I marked for death the goblin. And then just try to stay on top of it. There's a lot of stuff here. I still should do it. It's still half dead, just about. Yep, got it. That was close though. A lot of other stuff taking damage. This key warden's in that little blacked out area. It's gotta be. Or maybe not. That's gotta be in that area. Oh, there he is. And that was pretty easy. That's a little easier than some of the bosses, but it's basically how it goes. And so that's it. So that's Strafe. It's obviously nice and easy on Torment 1. You know, you gotta have it easy just because the defenses are pretty low. I mean, mine are alright, but it's only 3,000 armor. You know, 577 physical defense is alright, but that's because I'm using a Perfectionist. And you're losing a lot of defensive measures that you would normally have on other builds for higher MPs. But that's it. So I find it fun for speed farming. Hope it helps. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to everyone later.